My definition of cultural appropriation is when you take something from another culture and use it incorrectly or in a way that stereotypes or disrespects the people from that culture or your racist towards the people. That being said, let's start the video. i-dle has been in controversy ever since debut, so I decided to talk about it. Let's start from the beginning. Henna in Ratata. The people who are dragging them for it either aren't from a culture that uses henna, or they're from the ethnicity but they live in a Western country, meaning they never experienced the culture firsthand. First of all, Minnie is Southeast Asian. Henna is found in many places in Thailand, so it's perfectly okay for her to use it. Second, even if there wasn't a Southeast Asian in the group, it would have been fine either way. As someone who has lived most of her life in South Asia, henna's purpose is aesthetics. Tourists in our country get henna done. Even BTS did henna in Bon Voyage and no one batted an eye. I have done henna on my Mexican friends before. During Eid, me and my friends did a henna stand in New York City and all types of people got it done. Now, some designs may have a religious significance, but the designs that the girls used didn't.
사실 이제 아랍 팬분들은 데뷔 초기부터 이제 그 henna를 하시고 라타타 뮤직비디오에 등장을 하셨잖아요. 그래서 그거에 바로 반해서 그때부터 계속 아이들을 보고 싶다고 많이 요청을 했었어요.
네. henna가 아랍에서 많이 하는 거 혹시 알고 계셨나요?
네.
시안 찾았을 때.
네, 시안 찾았을
그때.
너무
어땠어요,
예뻐가지고. 뭔가 예쁘다는 말로 좀 표현하기 어렵고 좀 아름다운 것 같아요. 뭔가 그 무늬라든지 뭔가 그리고 저희 춤을 췄을 때 되게 돋보였다 해야 되나 그 henna가 되게 예뻤습니다.
네, 그래서 아랍에서는 결혼식이나 뭐 파티나 이럴 때 여기부터 여기까지
다리도 합니다.
너무 멋있어요.
네, 저희도 보고 깜짝 놀랐어요. 라타타 뮤직비디오에서 너무 예쁘게 나오길래.
This is cultural appreciation. They're doing it because they found it beautiful and didn't disrespect it in any way. Because it seems like they were inspired by henna used in Arab countries, I asked a few Arabic friends of mine. And they said that the usage of henna is the same over there, which is aesthetics. Second, Han. To be honest, I don't even know what people are complaining about. Middle Eastern culture? The people who are complaining about that are quite ignorant themselves. People who call it Middle Eastern cultural appropriation are perpetuating the stereotype that desert equals Middle East, which is ignorant of them. No, desert don't equal Middle East. The word Han means alone, and desert is a symbol of loneliness. Third, mosque background in GDA. I'm a Muslim and it was disrespectful. However, this is not the girls' fault at all. Since when do performers decide their backgrounds, decorations, and lightings? Even the labels, in this case Cube, didn't do it. In fact, the same background had been used for a different group on the same day. FYI, i-dle didn't even attend the rehearsals that day, so they had no way of knowing what's behind them. Problematic backdrops have happened before for a lot of other K-pop groups, but no one held the idols accountable for it. But for some reason, people want to act like i-dle picked their own backdrop when the girls didn't even attend the rehearsals. This was completely GDA's fault, and GDA took down the performance after fans mass emailed. Fourth, Señorita. I don't even know what to say for Señorita. I have heard people complain about the spelling, but this isn't the girl's fault again. On Fan Cafe, when Soyeon posted this, she spelled the name right. Soyeon also did extensive research to get the usage of the word correct, and she has worked with a Spanish-speaking man for it too.
뮤비도 뮤비래. 그러니까 우리가 컨셉을 약간 좀 처음 만났는데
이름을 모르잖아요. 이름을 모르면은 뭐 아가씨 이렇게 부를 수도 있고 저기요 이렇게 부를 수도 있고 뭐 누구누구 이러면은 뭐 아가씨 이렇게 부를 수도 있고 저기요 이렇게 부를 수도 있고 뭐 누구누구 씨 이름을 모르니까 우리 이름 모르니까 그래서 뭐 세뇨리타 이렇게 부르는 거예요. 그래서 거기에 누구누구예요? 네, 누군가를 누가 저희를 세뇨리타라고 부르요. 근데 이제 또 수진이가 또 세뇨 이거 하잖아요.
오 마이 갓.
너무 간질간질해요.
헤이 미스터. 수진인 것 같아.
그게 아주 이게 중요하죠. 이게 세뇨 그 사람을 부르는 우리가 부르는 거고 그 사람이 우리를 세뇨리따라고 불러.
But again, this is appreciation. She did her research, she shared her research with the rest of the group, and she never disrespected anyone through it. Next, i-dle's fire performance on Queendom. Here is the behind the scenes of this video.
나는 개인적으로 그 에에에에에를 우기 목소리로 진짜 아프리카 약간 추장이 막 에에에에에에 이렇게 하는
여기 쓸 수 있겠네 그 창법.
그 신스 있잖아. 뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱 이거를 약간 아프리카의 좀 뭔가 그런 악기들로 바꾸는 거야. 뭔가 똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥 이러면은 이제 우리 스타일을 좀 살리는 거지. 우리가 기계음을 거의 안 쓰잖아. 그걸 좀 살리고 약간 에스닉 힙. 에스닉 힙 이런 식으로 가면 진짜 멋있어.
Now, let's break this video down. Whenever people talk about how problematic this video is, they go ethnic hip and end it as if they did something with it. Yes, there were other problematic situations in this video, but since when did fake folks care about that? Over the years, certain English terms started to have different usages in many parts of the world, including Korea, so I spoke to a Korean person about it. They said that the word ethnic may refer to something foreign, in this case, Africa is definitely foreign to them, or something unusual or unique, or certain fashion styles. The word hip usually refers to something that is trendy or cool. Ethnic hip usually refers to something cool but unusual. By the way, a lot of people said that she called Africa ethnic hip, but this clip was taken out of context. She referred to their whole fire performance they were about to do as that. I really don't know how that is problematic or even disrespectful to say that. Now, I'm not from West Africa, so I had to speak and find people who are from there and their opinions on it. There were certainly other problematic aspects in this video. I went through the internet to look for comments and I found this comment that explains the situation well, so please pause to read. Now, out of the people who were rightfully offended, they said that Soyeon generalized Africa and used war cries. War cries can be viewed insensitive because African and Native American people have constantly been mocked and depicted in a degrading manner in foreign media for using war cries. Meaning, while i-dle may not have any ill intentions, using war cries was still problematic. Disclaimer, I'm not here to tell you how to feel about this performance, and you have every right to be offended. I was just trying to explain the usage of certain terms and to show what people, especially from that culture, felt about this situation. By the way, the few people I've talked to on social media or saw comments of on YouTube don't represent the entire culture. If you want to look at fans' response, fans have actually mass emailed the company and tried their best to inform them of it. Now, Jeff isn't really the most reliable reporter in the world, but he does have connections to Cube since he oftentimes spoils or gives hints of i-dle's comebacks. This is what Jeff said in a DM. Now, should they apologize? Since they have hurt people, it seems right that they should, but here's the thing. What Soyeon said was on a TV show on Mnet. I'll repeat, a TV show where there's many people, directors, staffs, editors, etc. involved. She didn't say these on a V-Live or some iTalk, where only her and Cube staff were involved. I have spoken to a few Korean people about this, and frankly speaking, it's kind of impossible to directly or even officially apologize for something you have said or done on a TV show, because that's calling out all those staff from the TV channel. Even look at Stray Kids when they apologized for Hyunjin's situation. They never specifically mentioned anything about being on a TV show. They said they're sorry if they ever offended anyone and they'll try their best to learn. Now, did i-dle learn? For their island concert, Fire was part of the original track list. However, they never performed that cover on their track list and performed Put It Straight instead, the song that wasn't part of their initial track list. Now, I know this is not a direct apology or anything, but it does seem like they have heard what fans were saying. However, I do think calling what happened before racist is just wrong. Ignorant, yes. Racist, no. Also, people said they did problematic things all the time when this is really the only time. Another issue that happened during the same performance was Hoyeon wearing a forehead jewelry. Now, many people are saying this is a bindi, and yes, it does look like a bindi, but just letting you know, this isn't one of those traditional big round bindis. It's one of those stone ones that are much smaller. Similar pieces of jewelry are also worn in other parts of the world, including China, which is where Uyi is from and Shua's roots are. For those of you that don't know, traditionally, bindis were worn for religious significance, as it was the third eye and meant to wear off bad luck. And a red bindi can show off a woman is married. Now, that's the traditional big round bindis, and again, what Soyeon wear was the stone one. Even in South Asia, the stone pieces are mostly treated as fashion piece and not for its religious significance. I am a Muslim, and when I was a kid, I would go to my Hindu neighbor's house to get makeup done, and they would always put a bindi, the stone one, not the traditional one, on me. Even tourists are often given these bindis to wear. This shows that bindis aren't really exclusive to women, to Hindu women, and non-Hindus wear it too. And Hindus usually don't get offended, and a lot of the times are the ones giving it to the non-Hindus. Now, whether you think a bindi should be worn by a non-Hindu or not is your opinion, but I think it's a reach to get offended about a decorative stone piece on someone's forehead, not the traditional one. Something that's used in many parts of the world and that can be barely even classified as a bindi, and even people in South Asia barely get offended by it. Just for clarification purposes, I asked my Hindu friends, no, not the coconuts, actual people who live in their country, about this, and they gave me a what the fuck look and called me sensitive for asking that question. Well, they were the same people I would go to get my makeup done, so I decided to ask my friend from school, and she called me a snowflake. And the last thing was Ugi's situation. For those of you that don't know what happened, Ugi Shuha and Mimi were in a V Live opening their new light stick. There are many accounts on Twitter that do live translation. These translations are usually done in a rush and just done to get the gist of it because this is a live translation and the idols speak fast. In the midst of the rush, a certain account used poor words to describe what they were doing and made it seem like Uyi was saying something colorist to Shuha. Here's the first translation. Here is what Uyi actually said. Some of you forget what colorist means, and in no way was this colorist. Anyway, this situation blew out of proportion and Ugi actually apologized despite not even doing anything wrong. And here is the account that posted their translation's apology. Anyway, this is what the video was about. And no, i-dle aren't the racist bitches everyone wants them to be. They have made an ignorant mistake on Queendom about a year ago and it was wrong for them. But they haven't repeated that mistake and it seems like they're learning from it. By the way, I'm not here to tell you to love i-dle or even to forgive them for their mistakes, but if we're going to constantly talk about how problematic they are while standing groups that have done a lot worse, which includes problematic hairstyles, saying actual racial slurs, covering racist songs, also dancing in front of sacred places, disrespecting a deity, stereotyping people from a certain race multiple times, it's hypocritical of you to keep dragging them. By dragging, I don't mean to not call them out, but I mean like constantly talk about it over one mistake they made about a year ago and ignore all the other times that they have educated themselves before using something they were unfamiliar with.